Hello and welcome to the Qualified, where we're all a little damaged. I'm Jedi Johnson, 22, joined as always by Dom Tober, who made it just in time. The always steady Sticks Boy, 73, bad to the bone, Brucifer, and as usual, pulling the strings, pushing the levers, and whatnot. Steering the ship, it's Joe's Doolin. What's going on, fellas?
I'm back.
Refreshed after a week off. Kind of.
Well, I guess, Joe, surprise, we've changed our name.
Yeah, it's New Year. Figure we start off with something a little fresh. And we'll kind of see where it goes.
Pretty good. It's been quiet. No snow, hardly.
I
Barely.
think I fell asleep at around 10:30 on New Year's Eve.
Mm.
I didn't.
And then I woke up at midnight when my neighbor started shooting off industrial fireworks. So it was good.
Yeah, I didn't go. I didn't go to bed till like 5 a.m. New Year's morning.
Well, I was working until 3 in the morning.
Party animal.
I had my party.
I had to deal with all the crazy shit in Times Square. So
Had to step over the poop. We feel for you, Don.
yeah, you should feel for me. I worked hard to make the new year something. There you go.
He works hard for the money.
Yeah.
It was a usual war zone here. If anybody hasn't Googled Oahu 2024 fireworks, do so. It's a usual war zone. Even though the authorities captured they stopped an illegal shipment of like $340,000 worth of like illegal fireworks from coming in. It was like you couldn't tell. It was nuts. But I was inside babysitting the dog because I promised my son I would, and I was watching the creator because Joe said it was so good. It was okay.
The effects were nice for an $80 million movie. It looked good.
It's all right. I mean, it was no.
It's no terrifying.
No Rebel Moon, but it was pretty good.
What is?
All right, hey, we got 17 in. Let's say hello. I guess we'll start saying hello to the chat, and then maybe we'll do some pickups. Because the name changed, but the show pretty much stayed the same, with an exception that
we got a
surprise for everybody.
Yeah, we got one big new segment.
Yeah, huge segment. GT Comic. Nothing changed since last year for GT. He's still in the pole position, coming in number 1, number 2, and number 3, taking no chances.
I'm gonna take your pole position statement and say prepare to qualify.
Yeah.
Prepare to qualify. Ed LeBeau, change is hard, but changing your name isn't. Well, yeah. It wasn't completely easy, but we got it done. I guess you'll still watch. We appreciate you watching, Ed. Tommy Longbox, new year, new name, same awesome guest. Aw, make me blush. Appreciate that.
It's not that hard.
AOA qualified equals qualified for AARP. Yeah,
get that discount.
Yeah, early bird special. I mean, don't hate the game, or what? Don't hate the player, hate the game. I guess whatever.
How else am I supposed to know what age to take my Social Security?
Cragden X, Happy New Year back at you. We appreciate you watching. Leftover Zaggy. So this is Comic Bob 369. So is this Comic Bob 369? I don't know. Somebody got to explain that to me. I don't get it. Right over my head. See what else we got. Blah blah blah. BK, why didn't they name the show Dom and his old friends? Well,
They'll never learn. You're never gonna learn.
What will we do when Dom is suspended and can't be here?
We'll learn. We need to get the talent up front. I know.
Dom's ego needs a show of its own. Just saying.
That's it. I am the whole damn show. Remember that.
could barely fit your head in a
Just,
box over here.
We're just a platform to launch Dom into stardom. That's all we are.
That's it.
We do what we can. But
Champagne wishes and caviar dreams.
So we will, after we do some pickups, we will be having a new segment, the Outside Looking In, which is the books that didn't make the top 10. We'll be having that segment and walking through those in a little bit. So that will be here on Fridays from now on. So after you watch the CBSI Hot 10, you can roll into us and see some of the books that didn't make it and have a nice little discussion about that. Other than that, what have you boys picked up over the past few days?
I got some interesting. I got a variety of things I'm going to show today. So I mean, I'll go first. I think I'm in the position anyway.
You are in the pole position.
First off is for Brucifer, because he loves the foil. This is a Berserker. I don't even know what number it is. This is a Berserker. Now this is a badass foil. This is.
Oh, I like that.
Cool.
That is cool. I have the red on red one. That was really cool, but I always forget what book it is if I haven't looked at it for a while, and I haven't put it in a box yet, so that really pisses me off. So
that's a really cool one. I have a 9/8 Dark Knight Death. Man, it's a long title. Dark Knight's Death Metal Rise of the New Gods, #1.
Ooh, wow.
Signed by James Tynion.
I love that cover.
Nice.
Oh,
That is a great cover.
Can't even remember where I got this thing, but it's been sitting over there waiting to be shown. I got same with this one. I've had this one for a while. Just has been in, hasn't made it up to the show and tell yet. Planet Comics, number 60, graded in a 6.0. I just like a lot of the I mean, these things aren't. I mean, they're not terribly expensive depending on the grade.
No, they're getting there, Jedi. Trust me.
They are. Yeah, you're right. They're picking up.
They are getting pricey.
Anything that's like nautical or something on one of those Planet Comics, I'll pick up. And I just thought this was kind of funny with the shower head coming out spraying radiation. And just those guys back then were nuts. And then this is God. So when I saw this up for auction on Whatnot, I noticed it was a blue label with a signature on it. And I'm like, well, that's a little weird. Blue label with a signature.
It should have what we like to refer to as the green label, being a qualifier.
Well, it would. So this is a Wonder Woman #9 cover by George Perez. And when I saw it, the guy that was selling it didn't know who was. There's a signature on it. He didn't know who the signature was. And I'm like, that looks like a George Perez signature. I'm like, so, but it had a blue label on it. And so that was weird. And people were, I guess that was scaring people away. It's a 9.6. I think I bought it for like $25 or $25 or something like that.
Wow.
So when I get it, I understand why. So it is, I believe it is a George Perez, but he signed it on the outside of the slab.
Oh,
So
people! Oh,
It's on
yeah.
the holder.
Oh.
Yeah, is this
it's on the
a thing? Is
outside of
this
the
a thing
slab.
now? People are doing this.
I've seen people doing that.
People have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's on the slab itself, not the holder on the inside, just
That's
the
funny.
slab itself.
it's on the outside of the slab,
So you can't
and I don't want to touch it. I don't want to like try and like
crack it to get a 9.8 if you want to.
because I don't.
You can see the
But
signatures.
I thought when I got it, I was like, well, that's cool in a way. It's a good.
Will they grade? Will they grade the slab with a
piece.
signature on the outside, but another slab over it?
No.
Yeah, I mean, this is what it is at this point. It's. I'm pretty sure. Well, hell, I thought Stan Lee was a Stan Lee signature too. And that's
George
not
Perez,
happened.
procreed.
That's watch Hervé Velich's autograph on there.
It looks like a George Perez, but who the hell knows? That's all I got this week.
I can go.
All right, you got it, buddy.
All right, I'll start with the box. My box is open.
Stack situated.
I got this today.
Oh, what's this?
Aquaman and Storm.
You love your seahorse.
Yeah,
You
You're
are.
Aquaman.
Dom is feeling threatened right now, Bruce.
It was like $12. It was on sale. I grabbed it.
Hey, just as bad as the movie. That's good.
Hey, the movie's great. Right, buddy? Yeah, don't be judging. Don't be judging movies you haven't seen over there.
Oh, I got a big
Spidey guy.
judgmental
Happy New Year.
Looney Tunes 15
Looney Tunes.
DCU. I've been missing this. Oh, finally got it. I got a Shazam #2 DCU.
Nice.
Nice cover.
That's a good Shazam book.
Yep, that whole run was good.
It's a great book.
I got another Superman #9.
Nice little Zerdy action.
Yep. I got this. I've been looking for this book for almost a year. It hasn't been back on eBay until last week. It's a 2-pack DCU. Ooh, I needed this issue.
Nice.
Nice. Loading up the DCUs.
Yeah. And then I got my submissions back from CGC. I knew this wasn't gonna get a high grade. It has scuffing on the back. The Punisher. It was an 8.5, so it bumped up to a 9. I'll take it.
Hey,
We need to get the prices. We need to get the prices right sound effect for the blue
after
button.
the news
Bad
of Daredevil and the Netflix series have been connected to canon now to the MCU, so anything's great now.
The jack cover.
Yeah.
Yep, 880. Yeah, I'll take it. Some color breaks I didn't see. They didn't bump my Planet Comics up, bastards. Stayed the same. Bastards.
Still a 9.
It's still a great book to have.
Yeah.
It's just slowly creeping up the way a book is supposed to.
Went from a 9.2 to a 9.6. I'll take it.
So obviously you didn't put in the pre-screen on these, right? Because you knew they probably weren't going to get 9/8. Is that why?
Yeah, I knew that. I know they weren't 9.8s. This stayed the same. First Gunslinger Spawn.
Pops, what's going on? Happy New Year.
This went up from a 9.2 to a 9.6. There's only one book higher on the census. It's a 9.8. Batman Adventures 36 DCU, and this is the last issue in the run. These are hard to find.
It's a good book. It's a good book without the DCU.
Yep. Captain America 6 stayed the same. Bastards.
Take that, Bucky.
This went from a 9.2 to a 9.6. First,
Nice.
Hellboy.
Hellboy.
I've never owned that.
Isn't he on? Isn't he in an earlier Next Men where he's just like on a poster in the background?
Yeah, he's on some con
Yeah, a wanted poster or something like that.
And I got this book from.
release.
When did I get this? I got this book from my LCS. So it came back at 9 too. I'll take it. It's newsstand.
First Ezekiel.
Yep.
That Hellboy, is that the first Hellboy or the first Hellboy in color?
First Hellboy, I believe.
Okay.
And then I got this Batgirl #1, a 9.4. Oh, wait. No, that's Superman. Man is still 19 in there. Let me take that out.
Yeah. Redo it.
There you go. Oh, let me reseal it. I can use this later.
Yeah.
Yeah, just break out the super glue and throw something in there. And
All right, I'm done. There you go.
You'll never get books ever again back from CGC. Your card has been revoked. So I got I did get the Star Wars Insider.
Nice.
Little foil, which is nice. Yeah, Insider.
Little Twi'lek action.
Yeah, I don't know why I keep buying. They're decent little reads too. There's always some interesting stuff in there. Rogue Sun.
I like when they throw the High Republic stories in there. Those are cool.
Yeah, they have some this issue as well. I got the Marquez White Widow. I was a big fan of this new series, which I'm going to start digging into. The Agent. It's a Blaze Comics. I had to help myself to some Steranko homages, both that and that.
Oh.
I like that one.
Hellmonger.
Lone Vampire.
Can't go wrong with the next card. Paul Allen, American Psycho. Some more American Psycho. Oh, hush.
Ooh.
Shush and hush.
I enjoyed this Birds of Prey cover.
That's a great
That's the
cover.
American Psycho that was the 1 in 10 that was on the
Only the issue 1 had the 1 in 10 that was the business card, but they're doing the business cards with each issue.
Oh, okay.
So you
Got
can
it.
eventually collect the full set of the business
Got
cards. Catwoman. I like these pulp covers. More Catwoman because we like Catwoman. This is still one of the coolest covers of the year.
No. Catwolf, yeah.
Yeah, this cover was just amazing. It's good stuff. I can't believe that
Happy
didn't
New
move
Year,
better than it did.
Tech Tony.
Some Blood Run. I like this artist. He
Oh,
does
that's
some
cool.
just weird, crazy stuff.
Yeah,
Uh,
I like
I
that
know.
style.
I know Bruce likes that one,
I love that cover.
and I know Bruce likes the old Wonder Woman series. So
Yes.
Old
Breaking the
Tedesco.
chains
American
of
Idol? Is
bondage.
that the American Idol
Got a great
Yeah.
painting on it.
cover?
It's Tedesco, and I like Tedesco. I had to get a couple of the Lobos Wonder Woman ones.
That's a nice one. I like that.
Christmas. They've been doing some nice Christmas stuff. I got some. Been picking up these Zawa books. I like this Frizzen. It was a kind of unique for Frizzen.
Mhm.
Because of the
You know it's Frizzen. You know it's Frizzen, but it's not. You know,
Her typical
Yeah, and some more
the
Zawa.
eyes.
Zawa.
I like the covers on those. I always got to get my Sabrina. I like the holiday specials.
Yeah.
Got to round out my Archie. Little negative space. I just keep picking up these Rumpus Room. I haven't opened one of these yet. I just like these Rumpus Room covers. They're hilarious and they make me laugh. We got like a little Hot Tub Ski Chalet, little Doctor Strange. And we got some adult material. I did enjoy the
Spicy.
Madness cover. It was nice.
Cool.
I finally got my Lotte masterpiece. This is a good series. I definitely suggest reading this. It's good. Bendis and Malieve together is a winning combo for Bruce. It's your tentacle Nightwing.
Tentacle
Of
and
I
course.
cut his internet. Good God, it's going on forever.
And of course, I had to get my red light, the erotic art homage, and that, and of course the decal, because
Nice.
it's decal.
I thought that was fine for a minute.
All right, that's all I got. Stick man.
Dom.
I got stuff.
Not for me.
I got stuff.
I'll throw you up there, buddy.
Right.
As long as my mouse will move. Right there you go.
All right, I went digging in my boxes again because I haven't bought anything. I have to straighten things up. But I did find some goodies. That,
Or you could just say you don't have anything. I mean, that's
You say you were digging. Wait, did you say you were digging in your boxers?
What?
You were digging in your boxers?
My
Yeah.
box.
Oh, okay.
Mine out the gutter, son. Anyway.
I don't understand you half the time over there.
It's
Well,
fun.
anyway.
It's fun going through your old stuff. You find stuff you
I know.
forget you had.
Exactly. And you know what? Today is Friday, even though our show is on Friday. It's also Fet Friday because Fet Friday. So found some Fet goodies.
Of course.
Some Heroes and Fantasies Texas Comic Con homage cover.
That's a great cover.
And black and white.
Mhm.
Nice Campbell cover right here.
Dynamic
Hut
Forces.
Solo, as well as the black and white. Dark Horse Star Wars #2, a little bet right there.
At least one AOA.
Blood Ties #4. Now, Darth Vader had a lot of covers. Star Wars had a lot of covers and a lot of Boba Fett covers. So we have the holiday Boba
really?
Fett on the Darth Vader.
I would have never known that.
We got
Who
some
is this Boba
Halloween
Fett guy?
Comic Fest.
You're first, folks.
We got 1, 2, and we have the regular Star Wars Rebellion cover. That actually is the same cover of the reprint.
No sticker.
Just the top thing. Then we have the Age of Rebellion Boba Fett cover.
I like all those Age of Rebellion covers.
Age of Rebellion. Age of Rebellion.
Macquarie.
Second print. Age of Rebellion. Then we have the art covers. Dr. Afra.
Just kidding. I'm kidding.
Then we have the homage to New Mutants, first Deadpool. And Boba Fett. And the black and white.
I didn't know that was a black and white.
And we have 30th anniversary right there. Free comic book day. Marvel Tales.
Nice. I love Marvel Tales. It's
Yeah,
come down a bit
Spence
in
cover.
price. A lot of those.
Got the
Good
giant
books.
size X-Men homage. And this is by far my favorite Boba Fett cover. Superhero pose. This cover is the best Boba Fett cover by far.
That's Superman homage cover. What book? I'm trying to
It's a
think.
superhero homage cover. All the
Yeah.
superheroes laying like that.
Superman did it first.
Battle on the knees.
I'll put it
Then
out.
I got a
Neil before Zod.
couple of autographs.
I love that book.
Dickie Beers. Jeremy Bullock.
That's a nice signature.
Bullock had a beautiful signature.
He took his time with that.
Another Dickie Beers. This is numbered, I think.
It's a lot of Dickies.
That's a lot of
And-
beers.
I actually got something. It's opened. It was picked up for.
Wait, did you say it's opened?
It was opened. Yeah,
You got prepped. Jeepers.
I actually got it
New
for,
year.
for a cheap
New year,
price.
new down.
So I got Boba Fett Clone Wars by Daniel Logan, autographed by Daniel Logan.
What
Nice.
kind of a signature is that? It looks like a 2.
That's a signature.
Yeah. He made a butthole for a signature.
That's a signature.
It's a navel. I don't know about
There's only so
buttholes.
much you can do with the
That'd be
signature.
more of a star.
That, and yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, that's
Prove me
it.
wrong, Bruce. Prove me wrong.
Don't look at me. I am not getting involved in that conversation. Your anus.
Excellent.
Well done, sir.
Well done. Sir.
Well, Bruce, you
All
want to
right.
run it? We'll get into the outside looking in. And let me just
Sure.
queue up something that I never loaded. So let's just get into it. I got no bumper for it. I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Ooh. We got outside looking in the CBS Hot 10 official list. These are books that couldn't make the list, but they're here because he didn't want them on his show.
Some could have, some couldn't have.
Slightly
and
damaged.
There's always there's always spirited discussion about
Yeah.
what to put in the list, and
It's a long process, guys. Long process.
truthfully, at that tail end of the list, sometimes there's some that could go either way.
First
This
up,
was
we got
this was the most solid contender, I would have to say, out of all of them for the list.
yeah. This could
Top
have made the list easily.
Hmm.
Only a few more need a few more sales. We got Birds of Prey number 5, the 1 in 25 Zerdy variant. It was around a dozen sales, between 35 and 40. I do not like this cover. I'm sick of tattoos and Zerdy and tattoos. His work is so much better when he doesn't do tattoos.
Yeah, he got on that tattoo train for a while. It's moved. I mean, the book's moving well. Not a lot of stuff is moving above ratio anymore. You get less and less books every week that are really moving above ratio or even holding above ratio for that long. So this was nice. I like the Bacala 1 in 50 myself.
I can't help but think that that this 1 in 25 Zerdy may be riding on the shirt tails of the previous 1 in 1 in 25 Zerdy, the black and white. I don't remember the title that was on the Hot 10 for a couple of weeks. So I'm not crazy. This is Zerdy. Obviously, this is Zerdy. You can instantly recognize this as Zerdy, but it's kind of just cookie cutter Zerdy that we've seen a lot of. So I'm not saying it's bad. It's a nice cover. I don't know if I would pay over. I collect Zerdy, and I don't know if I would pay over ratio for this. But for those that really want it, I don't know. So this is Birds of Prey. So is there not a lot of people ordering Birds of Prey? Is that why? Is this kind of
the book's doing? I mean, the book's doing well. There's, I mean, you got a 1 in 25. You got a great Chris Bacalo 1 in 50, which is good. Chris Bacalo cover on the open order was really nice. You have good covers. I mean, it's moving in the same way that
the first
Poison Ivy moves, and
first issues 1 and 2 had great 1 in 25s that were hot. Both made the list.
Oh, so it's a bubble gum, right? It's a bubble.
Yeah, this is. I mean, it's you do get the bubble gum thing. I thought it when I first saw it, I thought it was this is probably just an exclusive because Zerdy does a lot of the tattoo stuff for his exclusives. So for having it come through DC, I was like, oh, okay. But,
if I see
I like it.
If I see it under ratio, I might pick it up just to have, because I have the other 4 1 in 25s. So
you think the people who are just buying it for like the tattoo or the bubble gum are catching on that after a week or so it's dropping in price and they can get it at ratio?
If they haven't caught on to that by now, they probably never will.
I definitely think this one's going to drop down to below ratio eventually. I mean, within a month. Probably.
I mean, really, almost very few things stay above ratio. It takes something pretty special to stay up there and stay above.
Yeah, and for some reason, DC's 1 in 25s have been trending. They'll sell right or below ratio the first week, and then the second week they'll double in price for some reason. Sometimes, not all times, but it's been a fair amount the last couple of months.
A lot of times, sometimes they just go under the radar, and then people are playing catch up. And then there's not a lot out there, or it's just all secondary market. So the market demands a higher price.
I think the last Zerdy tattoo cover I like was the 1 in 50 penguin when she's doing the tattoo on his back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. I really like that cover. It was different.
Yeah, that's a good cover.
Yeah, I liked some of the early exclusives with the tattoos, with the sleeves. They were a little more simple with the with the art on them, but I like a canary cover, so I'm kind of a fan of this one. So, like I said, this was definitely one that could have easily sneaked into the 10. It was moving well enough and had the sales at those price points. Because, like I said, every week, especially this time, I mean, we're in a weak part of the year, a little bit of a dip of the market.
Yep.
So, like I said, you're seeing less and less and less of these ratios coming out every week that are selling above ratio out of the gate.
Yeah. So. I mean, typically this is when people are getting their credit card statements back from Christmas. So they don't have a lot of money left.
Ooh, crippling debt. Yeah.
Yep.
So time of year.
Yeah.
Get that Zerdy to pay off my Visa.
We'll keep an eye on this and see if it makes the hot 10 next week, or if it stays.
A lot of people were attracted to Danielle from American Pickers. She had a great job.
All right, next up, we have Star Wars High Republic Shadows of Starlight number 4. Raza. The 1 in 25 Raza variant. A handful of sales this week, not many. Sells from ratio to $35. I really like the glow of it. Just feels like the cover's glowing with
Raza. When Raza hits it out of the park, Raza hits it out of the park. Plus, people love Marshawn Rowe as a character, so you're getting Raza doing Marshawn Rowe. It's also toward the end of one of these minis, so those 1 in 25 sometimes get a little more sparse than than your number 1s or number 2s of those. So I had a few nice little pieces in there that carried it to be a little bit above ratio this week. There's a lot of good Martian Row covers on this.
So this, Dom probably. Dom, did you read this?
Nope.
So this book also has what I think are at least one first appearance, maybe two, but I think it's at least one first
It's
appearance.
the hammerhead looking dude, the guy who.
Yeah, he's the Hammerhead, who's kind of a Dr. Frankenstein creating. Looks like he's gonna create some sort of monsters for Marchand. So this book had that driving it too, I believe. There's also another character in there, a female that looks like she's trying to put the moves on Marchand. I don't know if that's her first appearance or not. I don't remember seeing her before.
It's Star Wars, so there's bound to be at least 3 to 4 first appearances.
Yeah, I mean, people are drawn to the first appearances. Some people collect first appearances regardless of what they think they may evolve into. So this character, I don't know what this character, you never know in Star Wars how these first appearances are going to pan out. They could all die in the next issue, but Raza is obviously always a draw, so I understand why people are drawn to this. It is Marchand Row. Any cover with Marchand or Lorna D from High Republic.
You love your Lorna D.
Wait, did you say Sandra D?
Sadistic cousin. So if it's got Lorna D or Marchand, it's going to be popular. And it's like I said, there are some other, in my opinion, I agree with Bruce for the lightsaber really pops on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, there are probably some better Marchand Row covers out there that may not run you quite so much, but this is a good cover, so I'm not going to knock it. But
I learned my lesson last year with Star Wars first appearances, buying everything and everyone, and just for them to die by the end of the book.
Yeah, and there's like I said, there's first appearances in every damn Star Wars book.
Well, you got to look at it this way. You have to look at
that's good price.
First appearances that they make in the High Republic books. With the Acolyte coming out sometime this year, you never know who's going to be mentioned or a flashback or a cameo or whatever that might propel one of these books to take off. But $35 is still not a lot for a 1 in 25 if you really think about it. If you could find this cheaper, buy it. If you could buy it, I'll still buy it at $35. I just haven't had a chance to.
Don't pay above ratio.
Give it a few weeks, Tom. Give it a few weeks. You'll find.
Cosmic said he picked up one for $15, so there's deals out there.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on where you're going to get it for $15. You have some places like the bigger stores are going to freaking sell it to try to make a profit off it. But think about it. How many people are really buying 25 copies of the High Republic? The High Republic, it's a hit or miss. A lot of people, there's people who like the High Republic, but I don't think that many people out there that like the High Republic that people are saying. I think the High Republic has a niche amount of people that are buying it because they're Star Wars fans and they like it. I don't think there's a line out the door saying, "Oh my God, I got to buy the High Republic."
Well, you may be right. I went back and caught up on because I was behind, but because I knew we were talking about this book tonight, I went back and caught up. High Republic is probably the best story it's going on in Star Wars right now. I'll say that. But yeah, I understand it's some people don't want to get into the whole new High Republic thing. They're more comfortable with their Skywalker stories. So
yeah, like I said, it's one of those things. You never know where High Republic and any of these characters are going to end up in live action. So it's early on. So when you find some of these cheap, some of these ratios, I mean, hell, you can go back to phase 1 or phase 2 and find some of those ratios dirt cheap. It doesn't hurt to throw a few in the box and put them away for the next decade and see when some live action comes out.
Right now, you have the Young Jedi Adventures is on Disney Channel. And
are you watching it?
I'm not watching. I know Wave Seeker loves that.
That's a Wave Seeker.
I'm not watching it, but it is characters from the High Republic in animation. Even though it's for kids, it's still you have characters from the comic books that are their younger versions. But it's like a lightning in a bottle. The High Republic really has to catch on for things to really propel. And like I said, the stories might be good, better than what's going on in the Skywalker, the regular Star Wars universe. now, but it's still, they still have to be, the people haven't really jumped aboard. Once something, look, people are funny. They'll wait for something to really hit the screen, and then, oh my God, I have to go get it. They'll wait for that minute, like it's coming, and people are like, wait, and then all of a sudden, when they have it, the books start shooting up. That's when people want to get the books.
And that ain't the time to buy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is your time to buy now, and possibly have some kind of an investment later on. Hopefully.
Yeah. Last week when I was putting in my orders on Midtown, I noticed I was like, ooh, Raza. Then I was like, I'm not paying $40 for this. Then I passed it over.
Yeah, you give it a few weeks. I mean, it's weird. A lot of these, especially the minis that come out from High Republic, it's just weird. You just end up having like a few 1 in 25s that end up doing really, really well, and then you have a lot that just crater. But you never know. You never know what's going to hit.
Yep.
What do we got next?
Next up, we got Death of Venomverse #2, the Vecchio Venom Boy variant. This is making the outside looking in because of CGC 9.8s. They jumped from $30 to $40 to $70 to $80, which I'm like, who's getting this slab? Why? It's $30 just to slab it.
The raw book is moving a lot, but it's still basically just moving at cover price. It's moving pretty briskly. So, if you want to get this and slab it and you find a nice copy, you could always do that. But, with that Kid Venom coming out this week, like Kid Venom Origins, and then the series, which is going to be coming out, now people are just trying to go back and jump on this character where they can. There was a lot of covers for this Death of Venomverse too, that were good as well. But seems to be the most recognizable one. There's also the second print, which has the red background, which is pretty sharp as well.
So this is a first appearance in this?
Yeah, I believe it's first
appearance, right? Okay, so that's what I thought.
Kid Venom.
That's got to be driving this because putting on my negative hat real quick. This covers his goat legs or whatever looks like a Rorschach test or whatever the hell they call it, where you just I don't know what's going on.
What's that guy in Narnia with the half goat, half man?
It's just a big black blob. Right? I'm not down on this one.
There's a limited Baldari, I think, limited to 600 cover, which was like a ASM 300 homage, which was kind of.
You're gonna you have Venom Boy, you have Spider Boy, Spider Girl, Spider Dog.
Yeah, the brain trust at Marvel's working overtime.
Exactly.
Wolverine Boy is next.
Family, you have the whole Spider family. You'll have everything. So.
What is that?
I mean, I will say with this
300 variants of Spider-Man.
I mean, with this one, I kind of understand they're trying to marry some of the manga flavor into the Marvel universe to try to get that crossover appeal. So that's kind of where this character falls. It ain't my wheelhouse, but I'm an old cranky son of a bitch. So.
I might have a few laying around somewhere.
How many issues of Amazing Spider-Man since Amazing Spider-Man began, right? What was it, 900? The 900 already?
The legacy number?
All right.
Well, what's the number? Well, anyway, make a long story short, the variants that go with the newer books, there's more variants than the actual run of Amazing Spider-Man now, if you really think about it.
There's plenty. If you have the symbiotes in, there's definitely plenty. But nonetheless, this book made its little jump today because of what came out this week, and see where it goes. Like I said, if you really want to pick one up, they're moving a cover price still raw. So
it's not like a big deal. So probably still sitting in stores. Next up,
I wouldn't be surprised. Or at least the second prints are.
We got Vengeance of Moon Knight #1, the 1 in 200 Hidden Gems variant.
Ooh, I like that.
I have one seller ratio this week.
Which, truthfully, for 1 in 200,
usually they go below ratio, which it's a miracle that it sold that ratio.
I actually like that because it has the Moon Knight font on it. I mean Daredevil font, which is it's kind of cool.
It was a good read too, by the way. It is an enjoyable book to read. Starting off the new story. I mean, for 1 in 200 at this time of year coming out, I'm amazed that one even sold. But I mean, even at Midtown, this is still over ratio if you want to buy it at Midtown.
Yep.
It's still like 225, something like that.
And Midtown will never drop. It's not going to drop this book.
Well, the next book that we're going to show you actually can get for below ratio at Midtown if you want it.
Oh yeah, I'm very surprised because money grubbers they freaking want to milk every dime out of your pocket, man.
Yeah, I mean there were a lot of good covers on this this issue.
I like the throwback. I like the throwback look. 1 in 200 's a little steep, especially at ratio. But can't argue with the cover. The cover is great. I really like the throwback. I don't know. It almost looks like it should be is it an homage to something? It almost looks like it should be.
Well, amazing. It looks like Amazing Fantasies
15
mixed with Daredevil.
So it is.
I don't know. Well, Amazing Fantasies, Spider-Man. Is it kind of right?
Yeah, Amazing Fantasy 15.
Yeah, little AF-15,
Little
this, little that.
Just reversed, I guess. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
why is she wearing Madonna's bra? The cone.
She's
That's
just
the reason to buy
protecting
it.
herself. She's just protecting herself. She needs something sharp out there. But no, it was a good read. It's a good book.
Hope you wiped it down first.
I would expect this series to do pretty well overall in terms of people buying it for reading because they killed off Moon Knight 30. So this is the
supposed to read.
This is the you get to find out who Moon Knight's going to be now. So
Yeah. Are you going to crack the spine on a 1 in 200? I don't think so. I think never getting opened.
No,
Well,
definitely
Let me
not.
make a wild guess who Moon Knight's going to be. Going to probably be a woman.
No spoilers.
Well, we
move to the next one before Dom gets going.
All right, let's go.
You're not really going to know after reading this first issue. I'll tell you that much.
We got Marvel Zombies Black, White, and Blood number 4. The 1 in 100 Kasara variant. We had one sale above ratio, I believe.
Yeah, there was one sale that was a European sale for $165.
A couple of pre-sales that were around a little higher than that, but
That's almost 200.
Yeah.
I thought this was a Red Sonja cover when I first saw it.
It's a gorgeous cover.
I thought so too.
More like a Sheena.
Oh,
It looks
Sheena.
more like definitely looks more like a
Sheena.
Sheena. But it's a great cover. If you really like the art, there is a trade dress version of it. But it's one of the better Marvel covers I've seen in a while. Mainly because it falls more into my wheelhouse type of stuff I like to buy. But it was a great cover, and it's not very findable. I mean, you can find it at Midtown, which is, I guess, pretty findable, and you can get it there for about 90. So it's a little below ratio there, but other than that, it's not an easy book to find. There's not many, if any, listed. Again, you're getting these really high variants later in the miniseries. You know, you're already into issue 4 of this, and you're putting out a 1 in 100. I don't know how many stores are really loading up on 100 copies of Marvel Zombies. I know that people like Marvel Zombies, but it's not moving like, you know, Predator and Wolverine has been moving, or some of those other minis. So
yeah,
it's one that could kind of be a ghost out there for a little bit. We'll see. So
yep.
That is the outside looking in.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Come again.
You can come.
I enjoyed that.
And you can come every Friday and see those
I
5
just won't
books
do that.
that we're trying to make it there.
You know,
That's
it's always good to put a smile on Jedi's face. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, it's like I said, when we do this, stuff, it's tough sometimes. You have really thin weeks, like around this time of year, where there's not much that's really doing anything exciting. And then you got weeks where there's just there's a lot of books, and you really have to fight to figure out what's going to be on there. So
Yeah.
it's always fun to see what's kind of floating on the outside.
Next Christmas season and New Year's season is going to be even thinner because they both end up on a Wednesday. So good luck.
Oh wow!
Ooh. Thanks a lot for ruining my New Year and Christmas.
You're welcome.
I got it.
blame,
I got a year to prepare
You have
myself.
to blame leap
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a quantum leap year.
Oh, what a good show. Well, sorry, the original, not the remake.
I haven't watched the remake.
It wasn't. Why? I guess
I love the
it
original.
wasn't a remake. It was a
Continuation.
yeah.
nope, it wasn't a
just
continuation because the name it should have been a different name. It should have been the same dude. I just hate that. Let's move along because I'm tired of the bullshit.
He didn't
I
want
love
to come
me
back.
some
What are you
Scott
gonna do?
No, he wanted to come back. They didn't ask him.
He didn't want to come back. He said he didn't want to come back.
He did want to come
Anyway,
back.
now and later.
Now later.
He did want to come
So
back. Slap in the face.
Let's take a look at some comics. So this week, there was I missed this Doctor Strange cover. I know the whole Wolverine, the Helverine was such a big thing.
I like that cover though.
And then I saw this
You
cover,
would.
which is the homage to the 90s Ghost Rider #1.
Then he catch.
But you got Wolverine on the bike. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I might need to go dig that out and find that somewhere and just throw it back there. Because that Helverine one was weird. It just kind of lingered out there a bit, and then all of a sudden it caught fire, and it actually still sells pretty well. Price-wise. So
I like all
that's
the
how
homage covers for Wolverine.
Yeah.
I gotta say, thank God I don't collect Wolverine covers because there is a shitload of Wolverine.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
So when certain people make fun of Wolverine as a C-list character, remember how many covers he's on, because that's a reason. There's a reason he's on so many covers. That one in the middle is that Birds of Prey 5, the Chris Bacallo, the one in 50.
Love
I
that
thought
cover.
it was such a great looking book. I actually like the trade dress better, not the trade dress, the open order. It's the same picture but on a white background, and that also looked really, really sharp. Both are really great looking books. Bacallo's been killing it lately. It's great to see him back in the saddle and putting out some serious stuff. And then the Giant Robot Hellboy #3. It's a weird Art Adams cover. Yeah, we're used to seeing busty women Art Adams covers, but
Busty Dinos.
but this is a fun kind of Hellboy kaiju cover where we get an Art Adams cover, and Art Adams does great stuff with drawing that the monsters and stuff like that. So it was a fun cover, and if you're an Art Adams collector, it was one that kind of slid under the radar a little bit in terms of an Art Adams book. So I don't think too many people realize that was sitting out there because they're looking for something with that's a little bustier on the cover for Art Adams.
Busty.
Look at that. No cheesecake in these three this week. Aren't you proud of me, boys?
Yeah.
There you go.
It was still got like an hour. Still got like an hour and a half. Come on.
So for the future, Dan Panosin, I don't know what to say. He's blown me out of the water with the art that he's doing for Savage Sonia and all the covers he's doing for Savage Sonia, and truthfully everything that he's doing this year. He had a Conan that came out this week that was gorgeous as well. But he's just killing it with these Sonia covers. They're great. They have a definite different feel than a lot of the Sonia stuff that you get. It feels more old school, a little more 70s, 80s kind of eerie art type stuff. So I don't know. I dig it. And like I said, everything he's been putting out lately has just been just a level higher than everybody else. Birds of Prey 7, the cover C, Lobo's cover. I love Lobo's covers.
Ooh.
And I've been picking up most of these Birds of Prey books anyway. And I pick up pretty much anything Lobos puts out. So yeah, it's just a fun cover with all of them on there. And you know, it's I like got to pick up Birds of Prey when I can, because they go on hot and cold streaks with Black Canary. You get a lot of covers of her, or there you don't get much of anything. So
Do you read the Bird to Prey, Joe, or you just buy for the covers?
I read the first one, and then I got the other ones sitting waiting to read. So it's DC. I get into indie books, reading indie books more than I do the main titles, but I do thumb through these quite a bit.
Yeah. It's a fun read. Good story so far.
Yeah.
So, you know.
And then you got a new series coming out. I think this is in March. Late February, early March. The Batman, First Night #1. It's a Mark Aspinwall pulp novel variant, which is pretty cool. It's Marvel Black Label, so I'm guessing it's the slightly larger size.
Yeah, it's probably the magazine size. Yeah.
But I like Aspinwall.
It's a beautiful cover.
Does.
It's a nice cover.
There's some really interesting covers in this issue that are interesting. They all have a really cool
Jurgens is writing this?
30s feel. Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I have to pick this up.
Yeah. So it's it's fun when they do something a little bit different with Batman, and I kind of like. I know a lot of people poo-poo some of these Black Label kind of one-offs, but sometimes they're interesting little stories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank God Batman covers. I'll be forgetting a house full of books.
Normal Batman gets boring after a while. You got to mix it up with them. So that's what we got for the now and laters.
Nice. I
kind of tried to go light on the news this week. I didn't want anything too serious, and there's nothing really that horribly exciting. But we talked about, monsters and kaiju, but, the old school monsters are coming back as well. Julia Garner got cast for the upcoming Wolfman movie. Yep. Done by Lee Wallnall, who also did the Invisible Man movie for Blumhouse,
which was an amazing movie.
Yeah, it was really good. And if you don't know Julia Garner, she's fantastic. She was great in Ozark.
I don't know shit about fuck.
And she's fantastic.
Can I? Spoiler alert! If you haven't watched Ozark, I'm sorry, it's been a while. But when she died at the end when they killed her at the end of Ozark, it ruined the entire series for me. I was like, "Fuck this series."
I was angry as well, Jedi. I agree.
I was like, "What the?" She was my favorite character. She's great in that.
She was fantastic. She's a very versatile actress. I've seen her in a handful of other stuff, and she's gonna be, she's gonna have a long career because she's pretty.
I've seen interviews with her too, and sometimes you can tell when a person's being interviewed if they're being fake or if they're just genuinely a kind of a good, kind, fun person. And she just seemed like a very genuine, good person when I saw her in an interview.
Damn. So I'm excited. I want more monster movies. I want more kaiju. I want more old school monsters. And if Blumhouse is going to start doing stuff like Invisible Man and Wolfman and stuff like that, and we're going to start getting that type of stuff, that makes me happy, because that's good horror that is fun, that we haven't really seen for a while. I mean, like you get a movie like The Mummy or something like that. It's such a big budget monstrosity at times. Sometimes you just want a nice small self-contained monster movie. So
and those Universal horrors, those are the ones I watch more often than any other kind of horror. So
because they're great, they're great. They're good small self-contained stories. They don't have to be huge, massive, epic, multi $100-200 million movies to be enjoyable.
They're simple stories and they hold up. So
and if Blumhouse is doing this with Universal, it'll be done more than likely on the cheap, because Blumhouse, they do most of their movies on pretty low budgets, but they all look good ones end up looking pretty good. So we'll see. Some interesting good casting and Wolfman. Apparently Ready Player One is going to be turned into a massive metaverse experience in partnership with Warner Brothers Discovery. So more people can spend time in front of a screen and not interacting with humans, I guess.
I actually like this movie.
This seems like an odd waste of money, but I don't
Wait a
know.
minute. What are they doing? Are we talking a movie? Are we talking a video game?
No, it's the metaverse where you can go into VR and interact with people and have that kind of open world experience.
It's a VR Facebook.
I don't know if you guys remember last year during was it the Apple last Apple presentation?
In September.
They partnered with WB for their Apple Vision Pro. So you'll be able to get all content from WB in VR. You know, it'd be like a virtual world. So I'm assuming this Ready Player One metaverse will be partnered with that Pro Vision, which is going to be $3,000.
No, thank you.
Oh, and then you'll get death by 1,000 cuts for microtransactions for everything.
No, Michael.
Because you're gonna want to gussy up your
not from Apple.
And then people are gonna lose all sake of reality, thinking that all this fantasy stuff is real.
Yep.
So
and then it turns into Wally.
There's people in this room that lost all reality.
Yep, the one that is shaking his head right now, definitely.
But yeah, it impressed me they were doing this because I don't know. I mean, I have a Quest 3. I had a Quest 2 before that for my kids, but I don't know. It seemed like people were talking about it like it was going to be the next greatest thing, and then it was like, it just kind of fell off. But
I will say this: the PSVR 2 playing Gran Turismo in VR is insane. It's amazing.
The only thing, truthfully, I really use the VR for every now and then. You can go to a thing where you're like sitting on a beach, and it feels like you're sitting on a beach. And I was like, oh, this is nice and relaxing. I was like, I don't care about games or. So, I don't know. I found that interesting that's where Warner Brothers is dumping money, which is interesting. Apparently, they feel there'll be some type of return on some of those microtransactions and stuff like that.
Just so you can go places.
Yeah.
Well, just think about it. You're in a metaverse and you want to change your outfit. How much that's going to cost?
Oh,
look how well.
Metaverse.
You will own space. Yeah. You can buy space. So you literally buy metaverse land, and then you build a house, and then you have to pay for all this stuff. Then
it's a metaverse. Metaverse, you can be whatever you want, right?
Yes.
I'm walking around naked. I don't need clothes.
Yeah.
Naked.
I don't need clothes. I'm just gonna lay in the dirt. Just gonna lay in the dirt naked all day. Screw your microtransactions.
So.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's a brave new world that's quickly passing me by. But,
I'm all for it. Let's go. They had a similar a similar thing with PlayStation Home. I don't know if you guys remember that for PlayStation 3. It was a virtual world where you had avatars, you had a house, buy furniture, you could buy clothes, sneakers.
Was it called The Sims?
The Sims?
No, this is way better. It was way better than The Sims. It was really good. It was insane. Parties. It was fun.
Yeah, I'll take the real world.
Yeah, the real world sucks.
Robin Lives gets another printing. The Batman 428 that they redid with Jason Todd living is getting a second printing, and it will also have another variant as well. So you'll get that black, white, and red colored version of the original, which is pretty sharp, the Mignola cover. And then there's another variant cover there as well. With, a really happy Batman holding all bloody Jason Todd going, he's alive. So sold well. So you know the way these companies are. If something works once,
they'll do it again.
I'm sure we'll start seeing more of it.
I'm surprised that DC's doing a second printing. They usually don't do second printings that often.
Yeah, I think this is supposed to be the other cover that was never published, the variant cover. So
poor Jason Todd. Poor Jason Todd.
Yeah. And now what would be nice is if in the inside of the book where they used to, put the little Roman numerals or whatever for the printing, if they did the second printing that way and marked that inside like they did in the 80s, that would be nice for DC. Just be a nice little touch.
That's a good call. Yeah.
I doubt they will, but it would be nice.
Maybe you'll get a DC Universe variant.
They'll slip another one in there.
Yeah.
So apparently DC announces an all ape Jungle League.
Oh yeah.
DC is having April, so there'll be an April special one.
I love this. Detective Chimp. I love Detective Chimp.
I love Dan Mora. Dan Mora cover looks good. The Bernard Chang cover, which you see here, is actually another one of their scratch and sniff covers.
Ooh, bananas.
That will smell like bananas. So
you don't actually have to rub it or scratch it. It just smells like
smells.
Don't want to ruin your book, guys. Don't ruin your books.
Yeah,
that's why you get
likes that up close and personal scratch and sniff stuff. There you go.
Yeah. I'm gonna come to New York and scratch and sniff you, all right?
Yeah,
see how that goes over there. Let's go.
Yeah, I thought it was a fun little thing. I mean, it'll be right there for April. Well, it comes out the end of March, but close enough for April Fools. But it's
well, I guess DC wants to bring out their books to try to coincide with the Planet of the Apes from Marvel. More guerrilla action going on in Marvel and DC.
Guerrilla action.
Guerrilla on guerrilla action.
Oh,
as I was reading this, the horrible thing is when you're reading this, you can't tell what they're serious about and what they're not serious about because they're pretty much parody books anyway. So it was like Moolah forms the Legion of Doom. So it looks like it'll be just a fun little read. So I don't know. I'm always in for some ape covers.
They do these one shots and they're funny like last year's Harley Quinn romance book.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I said, it's better than anything Marvel's done.
DC know how to have fun over there.
Yeah.
They do own Mad Magazine.
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm. And Scooby Doo.
And that's all we have for news today. I just kept it light. Well, it's the end of the year. Not that much exciting going on anyway.
What happened to the Star Wars movie?
I've been told Star Wars is for Sundays.
Okay.
Thank God.
I get my wrist slapped if I put too much Star Wars stuff in any of my decks. So we decided to put together a little segment tonight. Thank you, Jedi, very much for coming up with some of these ideas here to take a look at some of the. That was you. That was your idea. I'm happy with it.
Let's wait and see how well it does. If it does well, then I'll take credit. If
it bombs, I'll take credit for it. So we wanted to take a look at some of the 2024 movies that are coming out, some of the bigger movies, and try to figure out what movies might be a bust coming into 2024. So we'll take a look at the movie, the budget, its hypothetical projections, and then our reasons why we think it's possibly going to be a bust.
Ooh.
First on the list.
So this is my pick. Even though I'm really kind of excited and want to see this film, I don't think it's necessarily going to do well. So release date is August 30th, unless they push it back again, because this one was already supposed to be out, I believe. It's a budget of around 100 million, and about 51 million expected domestic, 60 million international, for a total of 111 million and change. Why do I think this is going to be may not do well, may bomb, I guess? So they've already delayed this thing once. We've seen what happens in other movies when they delay, like the Marvel movie about the kids.
Well, to be fair, with delay because of the strike.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
But it's still delayed.
Still delayed.
Delay's a delay.
And I just think the more you delay something, people kind of forget about it. They know about it at first, they're excited, and then it gets delayed, and they're just kind of like, they forget about it. They start focusing on other things, and then so anyway,
that also it jumps up in your marketing budget too, because you're promoting something, expecting it to come out, and then it gets delayed, and then you got to promote it again later on.
Yeah. I mean,
Sony doesn't have a great track record when it comes to doing Marvel characters in movies outside of probably Spider-Man, I guess. Some of the other stuff they've done has not done well, like Morbius and things like that. They're going to have, again, depending on if how movies might get shuffled and things like that coming up, there was some stiff competition from other movie releases in August and late July. So there may be people choosing maybe not to see this on opening weekend and then choosing to see other things. And a lot of times, as we know from past movies, a lot of times, at least the knee-jerk reaction on whether or not a movie is a bust or not is its opening weekend. So this thing may not do well opening weekend, which will cause people to think maybe it's not a great movie, which will cause people to not want to see it and to probably wait for streaming. It's an R-rated movie. That'll probably keep a lot of. You got something, Don?
I was going to say that the character is not portrayed what they do in the comics. He's
yeah. So I got that listed down. The movie is not true to the comic character. That'll turn a lot of people off. It's an R-rated movie. Some people say, well, wait a minute, Deadpool's an R-rated movie. True enough, Deadpool is an R-rated movie. Deadpool has Ryan Reynolds, which brings a little more star power to the movie. Ryan Reynolds is a very entertaining actor. So this will not have the Ryan Reynolds attraction or the power behind it. So I thought that would be a reason. As Dom said, the movie is not true to the original comic character. I mentioned before, viewers would rather wait probably for this one to streaming, like a lot of people did with Morbius.
And no Spider-Man.
And lastly, go ahead, Dom.
No Spider-Man.
No Spider-Man. That's true. And then lastly, and this is just kind of my gut feeling. A lot of people will probably disagree with this. I still feel like the comic book superhero movie phase is waning. I think we're on the downside of that. I don't think people are getting excited about them anymore. I think they
got to be special. You got to.
They got to be special. Really special. They have to be really These are just people are just not getting super excited about these comic movies anymore. So anyway, that's my reason. Love it or hate it. That's what I think.
Unless they do something spectacular at the end where they create the Sinister Six and get everybody together, if it has something like that, maybe it might get pushed a little bit to a point where people are like, oh, that's pretty cool. The ending is good. But Sony's track record, I don't see it doing that well.
Well, this is
and lastly, I didn't. I'm sorry. Just before you go on, Bruce, I wanted to bring this up. So let's say even if it does stick, the projections, the expectations make it, and it makes 111 million over a $100 million budget. I don't know. I'm not a movie in the movie industry. So you're making 11 million on top of what you put into it, just based on the numbers we see. Is that really a win? Yeah.
It's a loss because
it's a loss.
100 doesn't include marketing.
People don't make these movies to net 100 or to net $11 million.
Let me, as it was explained to me by people that work in Hollywood that's usually on Max's panels that a lot of these costs are offset by tax breaks they get from whatever country they're filming in. So a lot of that budget gets eaten up, well, gets reimbursed with tax cuts, at the end of the year. So a lot of the promotion stuff is not as high as people like to claim. So a lot of these movies will make profits.
I'm only going to go with what I see. I'll leave Max and his Hollywood hookups to get down in the weeds. I don't know. I'm not going to get down in the weeds and the tax brackets and the exemptions and all this other stuff. But just based on what I got off of the IMDb website, which was 100 million or 111 million, I don't see that as being a win for this movie. But hopefully I am wrong, because this is one movie that actually, when I saw the trailer, I don't know the comic book, so I have that advantage of when I go into this, I'm not going to be disappointed because it's not the comic book. When I saw the trailer, I actually kind of liked the trailer. I thought
I actually liked it myself too. I thought it was
kind of wanting to see this, but I have my doubts.
It looked like it's going to be gore, blood, nonstop action.
Well,
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a good movie. Whether or not it makes it in the box office,
Yeah. See, I had always heard that if you take the budget times 2.5, if a movie can make that, that's considered a success for a movie. And this ain't making $250 million. That much I know.
Gonna be a lot. Have to be a lot of word of mouth if it is.
I hope it's a good movie. I'll watch it. I won't go to the theater to see it, but I'll.
You don't watch any movie in the theaters.
Exactly. Dune 2 is about all.
Yeah.
Probably
theater has to come to Joe. He don't go to the theater.
Yeah.
I'm digging a theater for the compound in the backyard. So we'll add on an addition.
I'll go with 6 to see Craven. Me and 6 to go.
I'll see it. I'll probably see it on opening weekend, to be honest with you.
It did look bad. What I don't want them to do is like have the biggest, most interesting part of the movie be some after credit scene, which is always frustrating.
And there's and there's a lot of eyes on Craven because of the Spider-Man 2 game. So a lot of people that didn't know who Craven was, they know who Craven is now.
That's still a small slice of people.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's still more than before. What that game sold, 10 to 15 million copies? I mean, people watch YouTube videos of it. So you never know how it goes with these movies.
Next on the list, The Ladies of Madam Web.
This is going to be fun.
Staying with Sony.
The Sony force.
So this is I'll just go through the thing, Dom. You can get it. So it releases in February, budget 75 million, box office expectations, domestic 61 million, international 70 million, worldwide 131 million, which is give or take double the budget. So why is this not going to be a success, Dom?
Well, the story is lackluster. We all know that the story is definitely. Stop shaking your head. It's lackluster. The women look good. I'll give you that.
How do you know what this story is about? Can I ask you that?
If you saw Marvels, you know what I'm talking about. Three leading ladies bombed. Leading ladies bombed. This story is gonna bomb because there's no Spider-Man in it. It's 4 women that nobody really knows about. Madam Web. Nobody knows about Madam Web.
I like Sydney Sweeney's stories. All 2 of them.
So,
BK's on fire in 2024. We'll see how long it lasts.
I can.
Nobody like the regular the person that doesn't read comics and knows about Spider-Man doesn't know about these characters. Who wanted this? Nobody wanted this. If you'd have made a film with Spider-Man in it, well, you're the only one that really wanted it.
I'll take it. I'll take anything with Spider-Man characters anywhere I can take.
This is the only ace in the hole.
It dumps the fire shit that story.
It opens on Valentine's Day.
On Valentine's Day,
so you can tell your significant other, we're going to go see this
about
movie.
that.
It's an all-female cast. You're going to love it. And then you can go see some superhero shit.
And you know what? Listen, female cast, women good, man bad. The guy is bad in the movie. Going after
Yeah,
Ezekiel.
Do you know who Ezekiel is?
Ezekiel was in the comic books. He was Ezekiel was the one that had Spider-Man talking about with Kane and all the freaking the clones. I read the story. I know.
No, I'm just saying he just starts out bad, but then eventually becomes good.
I know. But since there's no Spider-Man in this, nobody is going to care.
Well, these projections say otherwise.
Well, the projections. Let me tell you something.
That's
This movie will not play in other countries because it's an all-women cast. So you're gonna wind up losing out with that money. All the freaking Arab countries.
Only in Themyscira.
Exactly. And the only people that are gonna like this is feminists and activists. So I do not care for this movie. If they were naked, maybe it'd be a different story. It's gonna fail and fail miserably. If Sony doesn't see, nobody understands. Stop doing this. Stop the agenda of this. Stop it. Make a good movie, a good story.
I agree. It's an odd character to throw out there.
Exactly.
I think Sony is just making the best of a bad situation where it's like, okay, we still have this Spider property. We can't crank out Spider-Man movies every year. So what else do we have in the bank? Because Venom ain't going to bring them in to the theater after those turds that they put in the theater for the first two movies.
Those two movies made a lot of money, regardless of if they were good or not. They still made a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm not wrong, Ed. I'm telling you, an all-female cast is going to bomb.
Wow.
Bomb. I'm sorry.
Ed is calling Dom wrong. He knows
bombed.
something's wrong.
The Marvel's bombed. So if Marvel's bombed, this is going to bomb even more. And Marvel, the characters, are a little bit more recognizable than these characters. So,
Hi, Nathan's calling us old every chance he gets to see them.
you know what? I want to be proved wrong. If this movie overdoes what it's going to do,
Are you
I
going to go
want to be
see
proved
it?
wrong, and I'll come on here.
Are you going to go watch it?
I was wrong.
Are you
It's
gonna
going to
watch
bomb miserably. It's going to.
Great story, compelling and rich.
If you're going to say that the story's going to be bad, maybe you should go see the movie and judge for yourself. Just saying.
We'll see where it
Then
goes.
come back
I'm gonna go
and give a review.
I'm gonna go see this movie opening weekend so I can go on Bruce for show on Monday and say this movie sucked.
Yeah. We'll have a good
Perp-
unvarnished Jedi Johnson review.
And then purple
trust your reviews,
yell at you.
Jedi.
I'll just take my earplugs out.
Dumpster fire waiting to happen.
All right. Next on the list. Bruce.
All right, this is
your turn.
I'll read. Well, this is If releases May 17th, $80 million budget. Expectations domestic are 75 million, 72 million, or almost 73 million international, with 138 million worldwide. Again, nearing the 2 times budget, but Brucifer thinks this is going to bomb. Tell us why.
I don't know if you guys saw the trailer. It was horrible. I thought If stands for Imaginary Friends. I thought this was going to be a horror movie, because John Krasinski's directing, and if you see the reaction me and Max had, we're like, what the fuck is this? Some big blue furry creature going, "Wah!" It's ridiculous. And
I guess you guys aren't ready for that yet.
Ryan Reynolds really hasn't had box office success with his last couple of movies. He's not. he was.
I know, Nathan.
He's been doing a lot directly to streaming.
Yeah.
Bigger Netflix movies and stuff like that.
I'm thrilled to see Lou Gossett Jr. still alive and getting work. So I'm happy about it.
Chappie!
They're going to be wheeling him around or something?
I don't know.
I love Iron Eagle.
Iron
It's
Eagle.
such a-
Iron Eagle.
Great
And-
damn movie.
And then there's you have a horror movie called Imaginary. Same subject. Better trailer about imaginary friends they kill. Perfect. Freaking Ryan Reynolds playing Ryan Reynolds. Get out of
But
here.
it doesn't have Phoebe Waller-Bridge in it. I don't know. I have not seen the trailer for this yet, so I've heard you talk about it a bunch, so I'm gonna watch the trailer after this to see.
So, Brewster, are you going to see this on opening weekend? Because
Of course. I'm in movie. I'm in movie talk, so I have to go. Even if I don't like
I will
something, I
not
have
be
to go
seeing
see
this.
it. I have to
will
go
not
see
be
it
seeing
and
this,
give a
so I will
review.
take your word for it. Whatever you say, I will believe.
I'll actually go see this more than I'll go see Matter What. I can tell you that.
You had your turn over there.
Hey, I'm just saying.
But if I could be wrong, if the kids like it and it catches on with the kids, it's
Well, I want to know if Sticks going to see this because that's my barometer. I want to know how Sticks thinks about this.
I haven't seen the trailer for this yet, so I'll have to.
I like the
take a bit of
cast.
time.
I like Krasinski as a director as well. I like Quiet Place.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, don't Bruce. You can't pigeonhole him just to horror movies. He's got to branch out on sometime.
yeah, I guess. And special effects weren't that mind blowing. I know it's only 80 million budget, but
Yeah.
Um,
Everything can't be Rebel Moon.
Jedi, these box office expectations. This is for the entire run, I'm assuming, of the movie.
Or just
Yeah,
opening
I'm
weekend.
assuming too. I pulled these off of the IMDb website. They had an article or a posting for box office projections for 2024. All the top
Okay,
movies.
so,
That's where I pulled these.
Yeah, so these might be
That should be
this
about
might be
the run.
yeah, probably full run of the movie.
Yeah, it's not opening weekend. It's the run.
Yeah. They're making 75 million opening weekend. They're doing good.
You know, if
Oh, yeah.
if you like the trailer for this, by all means go watch it. Let me know what you think.
I want to go see the trailer now, so I'm going to watch it after this and see what I think.
This will make more money than Madam Web.
All right. The next movie is Argyle, February 2nd. So not too long to wait for this one. February 2nd release, $200 million budget. Expectations are 75 and change domestic, 60 million international, with a total of 135 and change worldwide. Joe, why don't you like this movie?
I like the idea. I like Matthew Vaughn. I just don't think that a movie of this budget with this type of topic is going to pull in that many. I mean, nothing's pulling major people to the theaters. And when you have a $200 million budget for a series that it's not a franchise, so it doesn't have any name cachet to pull it in. No, that's an actor, but you don't have a franchise. I mean, because you had the Kingsman, which was the last Von Kingsman movie, and that thing only pulled in 121 million total, and that was a franchise at least with recognizable actors and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. This with a $200 million budget, I think they're gonna take a hit. Had it had like $100 million budget, I was like, oh, okay, that's something they could probably break even on. But they spent a lot of money on this, and I don't see them. I don't see them getting this back. Yeah, it has a big cast of a lot of actors, but you know, so do Gary Marshall
movies. A lot of the movies that come out when we have big budgets is because of the cast and the marketing, which really boost up the thing. That's what.
And this budget, it doesn't include the marketing. So I don't know how much marketing they're going to do. Plus, I just don't think it's really a topic that plays well internationally. I don't know how well this plays in the Asian markets.
Spy movies?
Are we thinking
this kind of spy movie? Maybe it plays well. I don't know.
Are we thinking the cat's the spy here? Or?
No.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It says it's once you know the secret, don't let the cat out of the bag.
With the bad haircut is the spy.
Cat's a secret weapon then.
But yeah, I mean, I think the big killer with this movie is just the budget was really big. I think it's going to be very, very hard for them to. make money back.
Wherever this movie ends up streaming is where I'll watch it, and even then, I'm going to have to be in a certain level of boredom to probably watch this. I think it's just not my. I don't think I've ever watched all of the Kingsmen, to be honest with you. Just not my genre. So, not to say other people won't.
Kingsmen were great. I
like the first one.
But
First one.
Yeah,
Was
the first two.
this
were
one.
good.
I mean, let's just looking strictly at what they project worldwide. I think this is we haven't seen Styx's pick yet, but so far this is the only one I think where the projections were worldwide are actually underneath the budget spent. So that's got to be a little concerning to whoever's funding this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I like Vaughn. He puts together an interesting movie. I just don't think people are that drawn to go to the theaters to see this kind of movie anymore. I mean, maybe it makes a chunk of money back later on down the line on, video on demand or something like that. But it ain't doing it in the theater. It ain't clearing 200 million. So prove me wrong, Cavill. Prove me wrong. Pete will go see it 201 million times. I don't know why.
I think Argyle was. Let me just. I think Argyle was just put out there just to drive traffic to Apple TV when it releases on Apple TV, the same way Napoleon will.
Damn, that's an expensive way to do it, but yeah, maybe you're right.
It's Apple.
Yeah, they have money to buy.
So last but not least, we have Styx, who gave me the most homework trying to find this thing. Styx's pick is Harold and the Purple Crayon. He even had to rearrange the layout of my freaking slide because I couldn't find a good picture of this thing. Release date of August 2nd, $60 million budget. Expectations for this are 31 and we'll say 31 and a half. We'll round up 32 million domestic, 54 million international for a total of, we'll say, 86 million worldwide. Styx did a lot of research and he gave us an in-depth research.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
Go ahead, Styx.
So for this one, I had one picked and I thought I think that was wasn't the one that I wanted to pick. So I picked this one. Now, Hair the Purple Crayon, if people of a certain age know this as the children's program cartoon. I think this one is going to be great. Now, it's been moving around since 21. They've been moving it. Hopefully, this August 2nd date will stick. Harold and Purple Crayon is a great way for children. I think this is going to be a good children's movie. I don't think it's not going to be a blockbuster of any sort, like even some of the other ones that we've already talked to. Mine's your Madam Web there, Dom. But I do think this is going to make a solid banking at the theater. It's not going to make a sequel or anything like that. But I think as a kids movie, and where it's slotted in August will be good for it. Now, I think it's going to bomb. It's not really going to bomb, but it's not going to make a big hit. Is my prediction for it. It's just going to be one of those kind of movies that are there that you take your kids to, and that's going to be pretty much it.
There's a lot of kids out there.
There are a lot of
one of those movies that hangs around the summer at like 4 or 5 million, or 3 million at the box office every week for 3 weeks.
Take a look at where we're at right now with that Trolls World Tour. That's been out since August, and it was still on the.
Just hangs out there.
It was still in there, making money, rolling in, and I think that might be where this goes into, because
this might make a lot of money on streaming. It'll do better on streaming.
Well, you get a lot of more eyes on streaming. I don't know about making money on streaming.
More money.
And nobody's real. I find I don't see a lot of people doing that video on demand anymore. I mean, I remember when it used to be the next best thing. Oh,
I stare at it and go, oh, when is it going to come streaming? When is it going to be free?
Yeah.
Well, they know once it hits video on demand, it's just a matter of maybe a month and a half or whatever before it's streaming somewhere. So,
yeah, that's my pick for this week.
Is it starring Zachary Levi?
Yes.
It's not like he's in
he-
between not being Shazam and making Spy Kids movies.
he burned a lot of bridges last year with his rants and stuff on social media.
He did. You know, personal opinions aside, you know, his acting is his acting. So, you know,
Everyone gets a second act in Hollywood.
Yeah.
All right. And Jedi, new segment.
So yeah, we thought we used to do a segment kind of like this many months ago. It was probably even back in the Mail Call Madness days. And we thought, new year, let's kind of go back into it and dip our toe. Bruceford does some similar stuff on his show with VHS. A lot of the older media, I guess, or music media, movie media is getting graded now. There's a lot of people that are on one side of the fence on that. A lot of people are on the other side of the fence. I have to think it's fascinating, some of this stuff that's getting graded now, and it's just a curiosity. I have the grading. I don't just have the comic grading bug. I have like the full fever. So this is one that we picked.
Everything in Jedi's house will be encapsulated.
Yeah, it's terrible. If I lived somewhere like out in the country, I would have the American pickers coming by all the time. I know it would that's how I would pick up things. I just don't have room here in Hawaii for it. Yeah. So the name of this segment is "That's Not a Comic Sale of the Week," because obviously we focus a lot on comics here, but this is not a comic sale of the week. We have in this case we have Nirvana's Nevermind. It's a sealed cassette graded 9.4 by DGC. Now I did a little looking into DGC. I could not find a lot about that grading company. Looks like the most popular grading companies for a lot of the music medium is IGS and AMG. Which I also looked at those two, and I think I like the IGS cases better. They just look better. Obviously, these DGCs, I don't know where they're out of. I couldn't find a lot on them, but that's not the point of this. I picked them because they sold this 9.4 sold with 32 bids. So we're not talking about a buy it now or an best offer. 32 bids for $565.
And
For a
one
sealed 9.4 on this.
I love how they encapsulate your cassette case in a cassette case, basically.
Yeah.
And it's sealed. Like no one opened it. Who has
Pandora's
it?
box of cassettes.
It's sealed and it's still only a 9.4.
Yeah, I don't know. There looks like there's some subgrades on there. I couldn't really, I can't read it. My eyes aren't good enough, and the eBay sale description did not really go into the subgrades. I'm assuming they're probably pretty similar to what you see on the VHS side, as far as, although most cassettes come in a plastic case, whereas VHS doesn't. So I mean, you would think the cassettes would be a little sturdier and maybe
that
resist,
9.4. That 9.4, I believe that 9.4 grade is for the seal.
the seal.
So the seal is graded as 9.4.
End of October, so a couple of months ago, sold for $565. Whereas staying with Nirvana Smells Like Teen Spirit cassette, again sealed, graded by the same company, GDC. I think this actually might have been the same seller as well. Judging, I think it was. $305 on 11 bids, also back in October for a 9.2. So interesting, the things that are getting graded now. We're going to kind of not give the viewers a lot because we don't really know the temperature of some of these collectibles, but we just kind of maybe throw some stuff, some interesting non-comic collectibles at you every week or so, and see what people think about it. So
we can throw
I
some
got my
curveballs in there. Waylon.
Little Waylon.
Never go wrong with Waylon. Yeah.
I gotta keep my eye open for cassettes now.
Yeah, it's there.
Thrift stores.
Thrift stores love them. Goodwills, stuff like that. They always throw them near the vinyl now, where you'll just find some.
What's interesting about some of these other non-comic collections or non-sports card collections is we've seen like a lot of the comics now, we'll say your Grail type comics, your I'm not talking about like Holy Grail type comics, but even just your regular Grail comics, your Spider-Man 300s, things like that, Ghost Rider 1, stuff like that. I mean, you get those things in a 9.4, those things are fairly expensive. So maybe you can't afford that, but you want to get in on the ground floor of something. So maybe you just grab on the cheap, something like this, especially if it's your favorite band or something. Maybe it's the centerpiece of the collection that you start up or something. So I don't know. I'm not gonna shush these oddball collecting things away because I think they're interesting.
I mean, and a lot of us wander around consignment stores, thrift stores, flea markets, stuff like that. And sometimes you go there and there's not a lot of people that might have comics there, or some of the major things that we look for, or vinyl or something. But every now and then you'll find a basket of cassettes or a box of cassettes or something.
It still boggles me that people have their cassettes sealed up. Growing up, I know there's stores that have boxes of stuff in the warehouses that they didn't open, and they still keep some of the stuff. But when I was on my cassette rampage, I had over 2,000 cassettes.
Oh yeah,
and
nobody.
Dom still owes money to Columbia House.
Columbia House. Yeah, listen, I paid those pennies. I got those damn things, CDs, and everything.
Yeah, obviously, nobody back in the day was buying a cassette to listen to and one to save just in case. Nobody was doing that. But I think a lot of these sealed cassettes are obviously, they're back inventory store, warehouse, stuck in a warehouse for decade type thing. So
yeah,
and they're finding their way. People realize people will pay money for them for nostalgia reasons. So they're making.
Someone found it probably wrapped up in a Christmas wrap back in Grandma's closet, and that's how it got saved.
God knows how many storage units have just crap in there all the time too, where just people had stuff in storage units for years and years now, and
right behind those old sweaty mattresses they have in there.
What is the storage wars? Come on. The storage wars.
Yeah.
I have 50. Oh.
Yeah. All right.
And back to comics.
Yeah, we're just gonna do a little spotlight tonight. I like featuring some of the younger artists that are out there, people that are starting to get a name for themselves, the names you hear around now and then, that are starting to make their way to main titles and stuff like that, and kind of look back at some of their work and a little bit about them. We're doing Leirix this week, Leslie Lee. She studied under Art Germ, so you will see a lot of her work, Art Germ's work, and Ijikure as well. Three of those, there's a lot of overlap in the style and stuff like that of their work. So good old Leirix, like as I had mentioned a few weeks ago, when we are looking,
there it is.
There you go. Like I said, when you're looking at new artists, this is where a lot of them get their start.
Yeah,
they get their start in these Dynamite books, Cheesecake style books, stuff like that. They get their start here, work their way up, and then you see them quickly kind of make their way to major titles and major publishers. So don't forget, Momoko did a Cherry Pop-Tart cover early on as well. But yeah, this is one of her first, that Sumerian, Iron Shadows of the Moon. You got Conan in the back there washing himself up, which is kind of hilarious, which I like. But if you're
cleaning
looking,
his sword,
yes, he is.
Sure
He's polishing his sword.
He's washing his loincloth.
But if you're looking for good early Leirix, Sumerian is the way to go. There's a lot of these books are Dynamite books, these early ones that she did. So of course there's a trade dress, a virgin, and things like that. The Ablaze for the Sumerian has a virgin cover of this as well. And she did a lot of the Curse of the Banshee, the Betty Page covers. That's when people really started to notice her. It was a very different style that started to come out for her Betty Page stuff that people weren't necessarily used to on Betty Page books. But she has some phenomenal covers in this run. She also did this weird little space pirate, Captain Harlock. She did a handful of covers for that series.
I think I have that one. I have that one. I like character. Captain Harlock is a little anime.
She it's kind of that cheesecakey anime style that she has that allows her to kind of float to do some of like the more anime type stuff, but then kind of do some of the cheesecake type covers as well. Again, she did quite a nice run of covers on Curse of the Banshee for Betty Page. They were all great. I love them all. She did some more Captain Harlock as well.
Yeah, great.
Once she started to move out of some of the Betty Page stuff, she did a handful of Jennifer Blood covers, which were all really fun as well. And then they moved her over and she started to do some Red Sonja when Mirka Andolpha started doing her Red Sonja run. So she has a lot of very interesting Red Sonja covers, which are very unlike a lot of other Red Sonja covers. Like I said, when she comes to a book, she kind of is bringing a style with her that most of those books didn't have before. I like the Jennifer Blood's covers; they're fun.
Did you do any Marvel covers yet?
Yeah, she did. She's now moving into that realm of the big two and getting a decent amount of work from the big two. More DC than Marvel, but she's definitely getting the work. Again, her Sonja covers I thought were fantastic. And I started all of these pictures from her earliest work to her most recent work. So you kind of get to see how her work has developed as well over time. But she did a nice, the black, white, and red is a great Sonja cover. Like I said, she did a lot of those Red Sonja with the Mirka Andolpha covers. She did some Vampirella. The Dynamite Never Dies covers are fun as well too. If you dig the zombie vibe. I love Sheena covers, and I can't help but buy them as well, especially at this time because Rose Besh was doing a bunch of Sheena covers as well, so it was a interesting set of artists putting out covers there. She did do some Belit and Valeria, which I love as well. If you're into Conan, you're familiar with Belit and Valeria. Like I said, it's fun with the Dynamite covers as well, because around this time they started to do those ultraviolet covers as well. So you get some cool variants in there that aren't really that much more expensive than the regular covers with some cool color variants in them. She did the Samurai Sonya series as well. She did a handful of covers there. That was a really fun. They always do every now and then one of those Red Sonja Elseworlds type stories.
That Fairy Tales Red Sonja looks nice. That looks hot.
Yeah, the Vampirella Fairy Tales. Yeah, Vampirella always looks good.
Yeah, you're gonna buy some more of those now?
Yeah. But the Samurai Sonya series was fun. There's a lot of really cool covers in that. And then
I'm on a comic book fast right now, Dom. I'm like you. I'm fasting.
I'm sorry.
Then she started to get some work. Some of her earliest DC work here was in this DC versus Vampires, the All Out War 1 at Mary Marvel cover. And that was 2.5 years ago or so. So she's breaking in to DC and starting to get some consistent work.
Starfire
the Starfire and DC vs. Vampires All Out War 2 or 3 was great. She did a ton of covers on this Ninjette series, which is a fun series. There's some hilarious, fantastic covers in that series as well. Again, she started cranking out. I think they bring her in to do a lot of Harley stuff, but that Action Comics was a good one. her sitting on Superman's back while he's doing push-ups. That Harley 23 is nice as well. And like I said, she did like, I guess 3 or so covers for that DC versus Vampires All Out War, and they were all really
crazy about
really
Superman
great
wearing
covers.
Not crazy about
Wearing a
Superman
headband.
wearing a headband. That's kind of weird.
Yeah. he's just doing some.
He might sweat.
Might sweat. There might be a
Superman
bead.
doesn't sweat.
Superman don't sweat.
She's
Oh, I have
for
that
Dynamite.
Gargoyles cover.
Yeah, they pulled her over. She's done some handful of Gargoyles covers, as what I like to call the original Shush. She did this Julieta Romeo Hit Woman covers, which were really nice, and it's a pretty nice Poison Ivy cover as well. She did some 007 stuff for Dynamite as well. She's done some Darkwing Duck covers. As
It doesn't
as well.
pop as much as the other women covers that she does.
No, they don't. They don't. The Destiny New York
Mhm.
Black Mask book. She did a handful of covers for that as well.
I used to like Darkwing Duck. Oh, I have that.
There's my favorite cover. The Night Terror's Angel Breaker cover is one of my favorites. It's just a badass
I
cover.
like that freaking Venom,
yeah, that's
Venomverse
cool.
cover.
Yeah, the Death of Venomverse was that's I guess that might be her first Marvel. She does a lot of exclusives too, so it's kind of one of those things. The DC stuff, she gets a lot of just mainstream DC work. A lot of her DC stuff is just like open order stuff.
You gotta
But
get
for
her to
Marvel
do,
and stuff
Dr.
like that,
Africa,
a lot.
Dr. Africa covers on Star Wars. I gotta do.
I would love to see an Afro cover. But yeah, she did a handful of these Night Terrors covers. I like the Poison Ivy one as well. My favorite series, Heat Seeker. That's just a winner. It's just a winner all the time for me. Same with the Scarlet Culture. Those covers are fantastic that she did. She's you could see she's refining her skills a little bit. She's only really been, I think the earliest cover I have in here is like 2021. So she hasn't been putting out covers for a super long period of time. So I don't know. It's like when you go back and look at Hughes, when Hughes was starting, and you're looking at, Maze Agency or Star Grazers and stuff like that. And then you see what he's doing now. It's just kind of fun to watch the career arcs of some of these artists and see how they
covers are beautiful.
Yeah, to see how they kind of branch out and develop. And she knew she was going to get a Power Girl cover, and I love that Doom Patrol cover. But I love all Doom Patrol covers because Doom Patrol's was great. But yeah, she's
That is
starting.
such an anime style, though. I mean, that little.
It is,
yeah.
and that it is her thing, and that's that's her. I think she's in Singapore and works out of Singapore. She's lives and breathes that lifestyle. So there's always kind of a bit of an animated feel to most of the stuff that she puts out. She had the most recent White Widow cover. She's been doing some of the Speed Force covers. This Shadow Warzone cover was fantastic as well. Like I said, you can find a ton of her stuff. It's just open order stuff. You can still find it dirt cheap.
Yeah,
She got her Christmas ones out for her Batman Santa Claus, Silent Night 2 and 4. And then here in the italics, I got some stuff that is coming out in the next month or so. So she's doing a cover for Wonder Woman 5, which I'll buy because I buy every Yara floor cover I can find.
Hey, Bruce,
She's
are you getting
doing-
any of those covers.
Huh?
You gonna get any of those covers, Bruce?
Maybe the Speed Force. Number 4.
She's doing the Catwoman ratio on Catwoman 62 from 1 in 25.
DC work. You're right.
Yeah. She's doing the Fire and Ice Welcome to Smallville 6. She's doing a cover for that. and another Speed Force coming out as well. So yeah, she does a lot of, like I said, like DC contract work, but then she does a lot of exclusives as well.
Now you
So
see, look, her
you get Marvel
difference
stuff.
between her and Peach Momoko. You see how her work gets better and better. Peach Momoko's work gets worse and worse.
Poor Peach. I think I feel bad for Peach because I think she was just she overextended herself. I mean, at one point there was like, it's like do 75% of the titles coming out this week have a Peach Momoko variant cover on them? And I mean, that can't be easy to crank out that much stuff. Although I guess you kind of have to strike when the iron's hot. When people are asking for you, it's hard to turn down work.
Yeah,
but
true.
But no, I mean, Leirix, she gets a good amount of work, and like I said, a lot of it is exclusives. But I tried to pull most stuff that was just open order stuff as well.
So I've seen. I mean, I don't really go out and look for Art Germ stuff. I'll see some Art Germ stuff on auction, and people will say, "Oh, here we have an Art Germ." So then obviously I'll know it's Art Germ, and I'll look at it. I know Art Germ is very popular. Do you see Art Germ in her art? Because I don't really see it. But then again, I'm not an Art Germ expert that looks at a lot of Art Germ stuff either.
I don't see it 100%, but there's little aspects here and there where I kind of see it. I mean, her stuff always feels more girly, whereas his feels like it's more masculine in terms of when he's drawing women and stuff like that. It feels like it's a guy drawing hot girls. When she draws stuff that's kind of sexy and stuff like that, there's always just a kind of female playfulness with it that
more soft.
Yeah. And she leans a little more into some of the cutesy anime stuff, more so than Art Germ ever did. So, but like I say, if you look at her work, Art Germ's work, and then Ujikure as well, you look at it and there's a similar feel. The art style is different, and you wouldn't necessarily confuse one for the other, but there is a similarity across them as well. Like I said, she has her pretty much her own style. I can see her stuff, and I'm never going to confuse it with Art Germ. I know it's hers when I see it, but like I said, she's young too. I'm interested to see where she evolves with a lot of her stuff. And like I said, she's pulling in the covers now. So good for her. I wish she would come domestic at some point. But a lot of this stuff, if you want to get signatures from these people or whatever, you either have to do one of the CGC internationals or, hope maybe she makes it over to the US at some point. She's frequently over there in Singapore. And that's Leirix. We just run through. It's always fun to, like I said, look at some of these younger artists, especially when they're first breaking into some of the bigger titles, because you never know. A year and a half later, you see them everywhere, and then you start to try to backtrack and go like, "Oh, well, I didn't know they did this. I didn't know they did this." So that's fine.
It's always good to know who you're looking at, right? I mean, who did the art you're looking at. It's always
and then
smart.
And it's nice when you're, digging through boxes sometimes too, to have a bit of familiarity with it, because you can kind of quickly go, oh, okay, that's Leirix, that's this. It's nice as well. Once you know the style a little bit, if you're looking for that or collecting that or stuff like that, it makes getting through the boxes a little bit faster. So,
maybe
that's what we got for Leirix this week. And boys, that's all I got for this week. You boys, what are you guys doing this weekend? Anything exciting?
No, nothing exciting. I'm taking my dog to her spa day tomorrow. Oh no! You know what? I lied. I am doing that though. I am taking my dog to spa day tomorrow. There is a I forget the name of it. There is some sort of pop con or something going on at the Blaisdell, Honolulu this weekend. So it's Saturday and Sunday. So I'm going on Sunday, and my wife said she wants to go with me. So
Wow.
Nice.
We'll see how that goes. It'll be fun. Yeah, my wife's pretty patient when it comes. I don't make her spend the entire day there. I usually I'll do the rounds and then maybe pop back to a couple places that caught my interest, and then we're out of there. I don't make her sit there and bored off her ass for 8 hours. So I try to.
She gonna look for some Starbucks mugs?
If they have them, she probably will. She'll never admit it. She has the collector bug is bit her too. She does collect stuff, Starbucks mugs. We talked about that before. Mm-hmm. Shot glasses, stuff. She doesn't spend the money on it that I do. She reminds me of that all the time. So, but yeah, she collects stuff.
Yeah, we have to start looking for the weirdest things that get encapsulated and what's graded. Every week there seems to be something new that I'm like, oh, I didn't know that gets graded. I didn't know you can grade that.
I tell my wife, look, babe, they're grading Starbucks cups.
You can get them encapsulated and never use them.
Yeah. She never uses them anyway.
They're all on display.
Sometimes they are. Yeah, I don't know if they are right now or not, to be honest with you. She had them on display a couple months ago.
Nice.
Anybody
else have any
You're
exciting
muted,
plans for the weekend?
No. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing this weekend, so kind of up in the air.
I know I'm getting snow. I'm guessing you guys up there are getting snow as well.
I don't know.
But you guys
supposed to get snow both days.
You guys can handle it a little
You
better.
probably will. I don't know
here.
how much I'll get. I'm more north than you, but
yeah, little lake effects now.
Yeah, I might get.
I might do my show tomorrow. Haven't decided yet. Depends if I can get a panel together.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I will be home or.
No, I haven't heard from Red.
With the kids, but I will definitely let you know. So remember, if you like what we're doing, go sub up at Rennavision.
Dom's been trying to talk.
Is he?
He's muted.
Self-muted, or who muted him? Oh shit! There we go. There we go. You're good.
There you go.
Jedi, look. Your package that you sent me. I didn't even realize it was here.
You sending your package to Dom again?
Yeah. So if it's okay with the panel,
you want to open it? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, sure.
Because there's some good stuff in here.
Let's get you. There you go.
All right.
Tell everybody how well I package stuff.
First of all,
my package is like none other.
In bubble wrap, and he packed it in 3 separate things, which is awesome. Thank you, Jedi. I appreciate it.
Well, the 2 on the outside are just to protect the one in the middle.
Yeah. So,
Jedi always has protection on his package.
I always use protection.
Exactly. So there was a book that was on Woodnot for Mike Mayhew, and I asked Jedi to do me a favor. He was kind enough to pick it up for me. And I was lucky to win it in auction. Well, Jedi was lucky to win an auction for me, which
I like spending other people's money. It's fun.
Well, first things first. Wow, this is a cover. This is not the cover that I thought it was.
I threw in some extra stuff.
Wow, that actually is really hot. I like that.
That's Jamie Tyndall.
Jamie Tyndall. And I like that. It's like a plaque.
Oh, like a sign, yeah.
Leah in her slavey outfit. I love it. Thank you. So that's that. But let's see. Yeah, Jedi, you really did a good job. I really
Childproof.
I appreciate that. Well, first things first. Finally got the variant Void Rivals that
finally sent that to you.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you so much. But the book that I'm more interested in, that Jedi was, I thank him very much for winning it for me and getting it for me, is this bad boy right here.
Oh wow!
So Zartan, a new piece of artwork from Mike Mayu of Zartan and G.I. Joe cover, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You. That's awesome. Good win.
Badass.
Pretty cool.
Really like that.
Nice, R10.
Original.
Sorry, my browser crashed on me and kicked me completely out of StreamYard and everything else.
But thank you, Jedi. Thank you again.
That's an
Well
awesome.
done.
The box. You know what? So when I grabbed the
Bro.
box, I had it there. I thought I didn't look at it because I'm waiting for a sweatshirt, and I thought they shoved it inside the thing, a sweatshirt. Because the way the box felt, it felt like there was like a piece of clothing in there. So I had it on the side. So I actually just looked at it now, and I'm like, wait a minute, it's comic books. So
Hey, that's
I
good.
like
I
it.
think.
thank you. This is really good.
Oh, well, I got all you guys here. I need your picks for movies that will make men cry for Monday's show.
I gave you mine already.
I just send it to me again because it gets buried.
Okay.
You know how it
Oh,
gets
you want? I thought you wanted to give it to you like now. You want us to send it to you, like text it to you.
Yeah, text it to me individually.
DM
You know,
it to you. Okay.
does they get lost under piles and piles of reels?
Hey, listen,
Mhm.
I'm gonna give you my movie right now, Lilo and Stitch. There you go.
It's a good one.
Is that the Kathleen Kennedy autobiography?
Sure,
Oh,
yes, it
Jesus.
is. Will make grown men cry? Just Star Wars alone is gonna make me cry. Just watching how they fuck up everything. So
I put sticks in the corner.
Anybody got anything to plug or?
Okay. I just sent you mine, Brewster.
All right, thank you.
No,
I'm not sure what I missed while I was off, other than Dom's books.
what did
That
you
was
see
it.
this?
That's pretty much.
You saw
that's
that? The
pretty much
Rivals?
it, I think.
Joe?
This is Fist of the North Star made you cry. What the?
So that, Joe?
What?
Yeah.
North Star.
I like this.
Oh my.
I like that a lot.
I have my books, or my movies picked out already. So don't forget,
You said
tomorrow?
movies?
yeah,
What
I had
movies you
movies.
picking?
I have to narrow it down.
That was like
four.
sticks last week.
I
I got 100
four.
covers.
I have four. I'll whittle.
400 covers.
I'll whittle it down
Oh,
to
yeah,
one. Don't
400.
worry.
No, it was 400 pages of covers.
400 pages.
I had to write mine down while I was thinking of it, because if I didn't send it to you, then I would completely forget by today which ones they were. But don't forget to join the SNS boys tomorrow. They're going to be talking about some variant heat checks, have some good stuff on their show Sundays. As always, the Star Wars gang is there to fill your force needs. Monday.
It'll probably be a lively discussion this Sunday if I had to guess.
Yeah.
No?
Probably a little bit.
I will be disappointed if it's not.
Bruce, Monday, what times are you going on Monday now? You staying at the same time?
I have no idea. I'm gonna try 10 o'clock again. to
Just
see-
sub to Bruce on Kingdom of Nerds and make sure you click the notification and you'll know when it's coming. But normally Mondays, and then we'll see what happens toward the end of the week. What day it falls on. Wednesday, don't forget
There
to
will
catch
be
the-
2 shows next week. 2 shows next week.
Wednesday, don't forget to catch the boys on TAC. And Friday, watch the CBSI Hot 10. And it will roll right over into this show where you can catch the outside looking in. Thank you all very, very much. There's one slide that I had that I can't show because I no longer have StreamYard access because my system knocked me out. So there we go. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. I had to get in a little bit Frank show today. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. And if somebody can hit the outro, we can get the hell out of here. Have a great weekend, everybody.